Hi, my name is Graham Langdown, a retired shipwright, having also studied naval architecture. A career of 60 years, I live at Kalula Cove, a small coastal town in southern Queensland, Australia. With this presentation, I hope to raise an interest into what I call a low-energy bow. I first got captivated by this type of bow a long time ago. Suddenly I found myself with an opportunity to build a craft with this form of bow. It also fitted my long-standing desire to take plywood boat design into a new aesthetic. Although at the time I was proficient in CAD and 3D modelling was in its infancy, so out came the battens and weights plus the calculator. Here is the boat, aptly named Educator, powered by modified 24-volt electric outboards to form pods. The props were changed each year's race with small improvements, but the boat in its last race started out at 4.5 knots and 3.5 hours later crossed the line at 1.5 knots, a good result. This is a short series of extracts from videos taken on the day of demonstration trials to young naval architects and engineers in year 2000. The boat participated over 4 years in the annual solar boat race in Canberra, Australia, but the race sadly was discontinued at this time. The boat showed little fuss and behaved well in the waves from our observers' runabout. The steering arrangement was only simple rope to the rudder tiller, too crude, so the tow was stopped at approximately 10 knots. Most of my comments in the following slides relate to the solar boat Sharpie style only. More out-of-norm thinking is required to better understand and apply. Normal curve of area and related coefficients do not discriminate the LEB. Notes are for flat water. When the surrounding water surface rises up the sides of each bow, it is interesting that the LEB has little fuss. The Sharpie form morphing into the LEB produces more controlled pitch behaviour when reacting to passing waves. Stern form complements this behaviour. This slide reiterates the differences between the bows. The LEB requires further analysis to better understand its virtues. The LEB, as presented on this Sharpie form, combined with a low underwater centroid of the sections, plus the panel forces when underway appears to control the bow's behaviour and pitch response more so than a typical slender wave-piercing bow. I'm not versed in CFD and flow analysis techniques, but this is what's needed to better understand the LEB and establish design guidelines and a framework for this application. The following slides show images of craft that I have concept modelled utilising the LEB. I have not built any of these craft, but see the advantages straight away having designed and used conventional versions of these boats. My age and resources will not allow me to build all of these concepts expletive, but have confidence in each craft to provide a rewarding experience. The test for any yacht is in its ability to sail to windward in a chop. The LEB has an advantage where it appears to negate any energy transfer to the boat or local wave profiles. I know these designs are out there, but relating my experience with the solar boat and having done model testing trials, the concepts have merit for quite smooth boating around the Froude number 0.4 with low power installations. The boat on the lower left has a way to investigate higher speed cat application. Radical, but would be a good ride in choppy waters. Some of the concepts are at reasonably advanced stages, and I may produce further drawing data models for a presentation of their own. I would like to pass my ideas and designs into the industry through boat design concepts and thus not be lost. Most of these pros can be observed in the video. I reiterate that driving the solar boat provides a unique experience upwind, plus with no vices when driven in other relative seaway directions. The lake is freshwater and easily chopped up, with the race's course being around buoys. Probably the most obvious question that will be asked is how to deal with the bow's vulnerability to damage and how to suitably improve both structural integrity and reduce hull flooding. I feel there is scope for more development within the boating world where cost, comfort, a moderate pace, and importantly low running costs, low fuel usage can be achieved. With plywood boat building technology nowadays and CAD 3D modelling, the home building of a new aesthetic of boats is possible, giving the plywood boat a new lease of life. Some subtle changes are identified, but I consider now that the solar boat is still conservative in its design. The hull is a good basis on which some further, possibly radical changes could be tested. Disappointed that accessing solar boat races to test out these extremes is now not likely. Thank you, and please read the reference. It is a great insight into bow design evolutions and shows that it has all been done before, albeit for specific reasons. If you're interested in taking this further as a research project, it is most encouraged, and contact me on the below email address.